everyone, and welcome to the Friday update on traditional markets. So the plan is we're going to have a regular Friday update on traditional markets from myself, and we'll have crypto from probably EO and Forex from Jackie. But just bear with us while we get started, and also bear with me as well because I'm working from a laptop and there might be some buffering. So traditional markets, I guess first off, what I was going to say is don't be afraid of trading traditional markets. Like most people, I started out in Bitcoin and crypto, but I'm moving more towards traditional markets. There is a lot of money that can be made there, and there is some benefits over trading crypto. We're planning a video on how to get into traditional markets, so keep an eye out for that. That'll be around how to choose a broker, how to set up a watch list, which assets to look for, and which sectors. So keep an eye out. Today I'm going to cover S&P 500, gold, oil, and a couple of other things that I'm watching. So, but any requests, just let me know in the Discord and I can plan that for next week. The time frame is going to be kind of weekly, daily, because once a week there's not much point in me covering 15-minute setups because they'll be gone by the time anyone looks at them the next day. So these are higher time frame views on the market, and just a disclaimer, none of this is financial advice. These are just setups I'm looking at. So let's start with the S&P 500. So I guess first off we need to have a look at where we've come from. So this is on a weekly chart, and just zooming out, we can see back in March 2020 coronavirus lows, 2175, and it's been non-stop up until January, peak at kind of 4800. So since then we've been in a downtrend on pretty much all time frames, particularly the weekly. So we got high, low, lower high, low, lower high, and it's interesting where we've bottomed out on the S&P 500. So there's two kind of key things here. One of them is the weekly 200, which is always going to be a pretty major EMA, whether it's daily or weekly. It's always one to watch. But what's interesting is that if we look at the volume profile, there was a value area low down here. I don't always have these switched on, but when I switched it on, there was a nice confluence with the weekly 200. So I actually took this initially, and I think I got out somewhere around here, and I missed the retest, but I have been actively trading this. I'll just cover the stochastics quickly first. So on the weekly, 39.85 to cross up. We're a little bit away from that at the moment, but if we start to drop down time frames, we look on the 3-day, already crossed up and crossed above the 20 zone. Same for the 2-day, and the daily is up as well. If we look at the daily, again quite interesting. So this level here was the weekly level, and you can see even on the daily, this is the current level to beat. So any weakness from here, you've obviously got to trade back down to this previous weekly potential long setup. If that breaks, looking lower down to the previous lows. If it gets through here, could happen today, who knows, because we are above the daily 21 with some momentum upwards. You can look at it if you're not already long. This was a take profit, but if you still held some, We have got a 618 coming in just here from this swing high to this swing low, and also the daily 55. So 39.90 might be a next area to look at. Once it's in this range, you could end up in another range up to the next daily level, 41.79. But step by step, that level there is actually where it needs to kind of prove that it's in it's back in an uptrend. Rejection from there, or even here, could carry on the downtrend. But the way a lot of things look right now is that there's a relief rally at least. No real talk about reversals yet, but certainly some relief rallies happening. Just go back to the daily. Nothing else really there of interest, but yeah, these are the key levels at the moment. Okay, next was gold. Gold's been, I think, it's been really pretty boring to trade lately. Certainly on day trades, there was a bit of price movement over the last week, but I haven't been trading it much. It's not been the best place to deploy any of your risk. So what I was looking at on gold, I know a lot of people love patterns, I was looking at this as a big cup and handle, and I still think it's fairly valid-ish. You've got this rounding formation here, and you had quite a nice handle. The only thing was this exceeded the top of the cup, so kind of debatable now whether that's going to play out. But just for fun, target was, I don't know why that's there, but I think the target was up at 2600, but that's all fantasy stuff for now. So let's just have a look on the weekly for stochastics. Again, a little bit away from crossing up 1793, but that will update over the weekend as we close today. I'm going to jump straight into the daily. So actually, sorry, go back to the weekly. So there's an interesting level. I'm not too interested in trading gold unless it gives me a level that I like. So it's pretty beat up at the moment. Let's drop all the way from up at 2070. We have got a daily level down here, but what's interesting me is this weekly level down here, which comes from this this kind of pivot here, some wicks down here, another wick down there, so it's a very relevant level. And we've also got the weekly 200 there as well, so might see a reaction off this daily level, but that's the only one I'm really interested in, and I've got an alert set there. What I've also done is I've got a Fibonacci pulled already. Shouldn't really do this, but it's useful just to see if it did bounce here, what will happen. This area is kind of, to me, is primed for a bit of a wick down or a swing failure pattern, because I suspect a lot of people are looking at it, but just keep an eye out for that. The other thing as well, on a bounce, looking for any targets. The point of control here is getting quite well defined at 1806, so if we do get a bounce there, I'll be looking up at those regions there. 618 is a bit far away for now. That's kind of the main one I've got my eye on. If we go to the daily, don't think there's anything of interest there. It's kind of hovering in no man's land at the moment. It needs to really at least come down to there, so a bit of a no trade zone for me. 1761 to cross up. So yeah, still momentum down there on gold. So that's how I'm viewing gold. And moving on to oil, which is my favourite. I trade this a lot, mostly on the 15-minute, but I've had some quite good swings on it recently. And the best one was, told a few people about this one in the Discord and various other places, but I don't think there's that many people trade oil. Sorry. What I was looking at on this was I think this goes back to 2008. So it's like a 14-year trend line that was coming in quite recently. I remember watching it around here, got rejected. I think I can't remember how I played this, but I played along from this region to I think it was up in the 90s. It was quite a nice trade, that one. Now if you look at this as a falling wedge, which I don't really think you can, but technical target would be the start of the pattern, so that's all-time high, which is 147. I don't do predictions, I kind of just trade what I see, but to me it's the fact it's broken out of here. I have a feeling it's going to come and visit those levels at some point, but things can happen pretty slowly. So if we just take this off, I'll just show you where we are now. So it's a bit squashed, but prices in this region here now, you can see back in 2011 all the way to 2014 there was a huge amount of trading went on in this region, and that's exactly where we are now. Annoyingly, I can't use the fixed volume pull on this range because the Brent crude that I trade doesn't have volume data back there, but you can pretty much picture what it's going to be like. There'll be a POC within here, probably at the level we are at now, and this was a kind of range we're in. So I'll just stick this back on. We'll just have a look at the weekly. Weekly's not stochastics aren't really telling us too much there. It's kind of floppy in the middle zone. We'll just flick to the daily. Okay, zoom in. So again, the stochastics 102 to cross down, so prices at 106, 107, so momentum is up. I'll just zoom in on here. I've drawn a box around this area here because that is, apart from this kind of fake out up here, this is the range that's being traded at the moment. And again, I mentioned the 200 exponential earlier. Daily 200, really nice bounce off there. I think I took that one from memory. And levels from here. This volume-wise, this POC isn't really a POC. It's quite a chunky area, so not a huge amount of use to us. I have a fib pull from the high to the low. That's coming in 618 is above that POC, so I'm not kind of sure how that useful that is, but this is a range until proven otherwise, so watch for any moves above here, breakouts above. If you weren't long from here, there's probably not much of a trade at the moment, but I think just kind of showing this setup probably helps you see what's going on oil at the moment. Just for fun. I've drawn this as head and shoulders pattern, so this is what I'm in at the moment. I think I got long on the 21 cross on the 1 hour. and looking for higher, and actually just broken above this zone. So I'm going to hold on to that one. Okay, so that's oil. Not much else to say there. Moving on to wheat. What do we have on this one? Okay, so let's just zoom out. So wheat has kind of been going parabolic, and has now had quite a significant pullback. Let's just have a look on the weekly, on the stochastics. So weekly momentum down. It's had a big pullback. That's not going to change anytime soon. It's bounced off the 100 EMA, and there's a weekly level there as well. So I'm actually long on this. You might see I posted a position on this in the Discord. I've taken some profits up here on the 55, but this weekly level and confluence with the 100 was enough for me to. I think I waited for a bit of a reaction, then went long, so that was enough for me to take a position there. I mean, it's pretty beat up. Let's see what it is, down from all-time high, 38%. So yeah, it was interesting actually. I saw a lot of people posting when it was up here about news, and there wasn't going to be enough wheat to go around because of Ukraine and whatever else, and people were blindly buying, and then it just completely dumped. So I don't pay any attention to news or fundamentals, but clearly anyone who bought up in there is pretty wrecked. Let's have a look at the daily. Again, you can see there's a nice reaction there off the 100 exponential and the weekly level. We've got some EMAs coming in around here, so if you are long on that, it's possible to take profit. Certainly up here, this daily level, although it got traded through pretty quickly, I would look at that as a level. And let's have a look at the stochastics. Crossing up, not below the not above the sort of 20 critical zone. It's a fairly weak cross, so the profits I've taken, I'll be looking to get out of this one fully fairly soon, just as an oversold bounce play. So hopefully that's of use just in terms of how I looked at wheat. I quite like oversold bounce plays in general. They're you can just pick out really key levels and play the bounces. Okay, so this one a lot of people might not have heard of, but Marathon Digital is one of the big kind of Bitcoin mining companies, and it's absolutely wrecked. These things get double wrecked, one because of whatever NASDAQ and S&P does, but also Bitcoin. So when either of them go down, they get a double hit. So 93% down off the highs. Let's just go back to the weekly. So I have taken a position on this. I think I've taken two actually. One of them is an investment position, and people have different views on Bitcoin. I'm a long-term believer on it, and hopefully these are sort of some lows that will be good to hold for the next 2 or 3 years. We'll see. I mean, if it got anywhere back near all-time highs, which I don't think it will, but who knows? That'd be quite a nice one. So you could say, okay, well, why did you take it there? There was I've deleted it. There was a level here. Back here, you'd have to go on log scale, but also finally starting to get some sort of cross on the weekly, and the RSI is at some historical bounce levels. if I turn this on log and enlarged it, you'll see some bounces at these levels. So there was some signs from an investment swing point of view that that was worth a go. Can't go lower, bro. I also took a trade position on it as well, but that I'll be looking to get out of fairly quickly, just because these are pretty high risk things. But the level I'll be looking at is about this 10.8. So that was the previous swing high. Not swing high, but there was a pivot there, and the 55. The more macro fib pull from there. Yeah, I'm not going to be holding it for that one. Stochastic momentum has broken up above the 25 zone, so that looks good. But yeah, too risky for me to hold for a long time. These are just oversold bounce plays, quick in and out. There's a few of these mining stocks. There is Marathon. Let me just go to my main ticker list, just in case you want to look at any other ones. Core, so that's called Core. Can't remember what it's called. Core Holdings or Core Digital. I think they are the biggest miner. They are also absolutely wrecked. So I've got a little fund of miners, and then of course there's MicroStrategy, which I'll cover on another occasion. Not a miner, but it's like effectively a Bitcoin ETF. So okay, I think that was all I was going to cover today. Hopefully that's of use. You can kind of see how I look at charts on the daily and weekly. I think Jackie and EO do something pretty similar. We'll trade a kind of similar way. You'll notice I don't use many indicators, stochastics, RSI, EMAs, and fibs, volume, levels. That's basically it. It's nothing. Not lots of fancy indicators. Not my cup of tea. So yeah, any requests, any clarifications, just let us know in the Discord. But thanks for watching. See you again next week.